Hi, several of you have asked if I could make a tutorial for you via video. This is my attempt at doing that. I'm going to show you how to catalog 2 manga titles and then 1 book title. So that should give you hopefully everything that you could need to know how to catalog a book. Now, what I'm going to show you first are the things that I have in my toolbar. I usually have open my Destiny, of course. I have open Tidal Wave, so in case I want to look up a book, I can do so there. I usually have my series label template if I need it. I always have Goodreads open because you never know when you might need that as well. And then, of course, I have my cataloging specs. And those you can either find in the OneNote or if you have a copy saved somewhere into your drive. As you are working through the cataloging and figuring out what books you're looking for, I am, with this video, assuming you already have your titles imported and that you have already have access to those. Remember that when you use and are ready for cataloging, you need to be in as your admin so that you have all of the access that you need for cataloging every book. The first book that we're going to try is A Sign of Affection. So I'm going to type in the title and then click on title. I forgot to say, on here, make sure it says North Kansas City Schools so that you are researching and looking for the whole catalog, not just within your school. So double check that that is the case. You can also go to Add Title and search here as well. All you have to do is the same concept, A Sign of Affection. I can type it in. I can see that the red house tells me that we have copies of this book in our catalog. So I can go through and find all of those catalog titles. Or I can go here into our search bar, type it in here, and find again that you have these titles within the catalog over here showing you which copies are available. I have book 1, and if you scroll down, you'll see obviously this is not correct because you can see anywhere around it that that is the wrong way to catalog. So I'm going to take this one and this one because I have duplicate records. I'm going to add this to my merging list. Whatever it is that you have titled that. Mine is called merge list. Some people call it duplicate titles. Whatever it is, you should have a list over here in your resource lists section. And you'll see the only resource list that I have is merge titles. So that way you have that available to you. So I'm going to click that here. You will notice that I have book 1. I also have book 5. So I'm going to go ahead and add book 5 to my list as well, and then look for book 5 down here. And so you can see that I have those 2 copies. Now that I have copies in my merge list, I'm going to go to my merge list. And so this is what you do if you have duplicate titles. So click on resource lists and click on merge titles. You'll see that the titles that I just said were duplicates are now in that list. So the first thing that I need to do is click the 2 volume 1s where it says duplicated title. I then come up here and I choose view these duplicates and then go. You'll see that one of them, usually the best copy is always the one that has multiple copies in it already, because yours is the new title. So always choose this one as your best title, given that it should already be correct. And then you choose merge, and you say, yes, I know this is going to merge records. And then you do the same again with volume 5. View these duplicates, go, and then I choose the best title, which is the one that has probably multiple records, and I choose merge, and then I choose yes. Once I have both of these in here, if I wanted to remove them, all I have to say is remove them all. This is, are you sure you want to? Yes. I usually remove all of mine after I have done like a whole row on my book cart. And I typically will merge everything after I've done all of the row of that book cart as well. So then that way I'm merging all my titles at the same time. Whatever works for you, that's what you need to do. So I go back to library search. Here's the key thing after doing a merge, is it always is going to back to your site location. So you need to make sure that you change that back to North Kansas City Schools so that you make sure that you're searching the whole catalog. So I now go back into A Sign of Affection, hit title, and now you can see that my record is now in with all of the others. What I then need to do is go in and fix my copy. So volume 1 was the first one that I had. You can see that everything is here. And you can check, I always check to make sure, is manga in my site records? It is. And so I want to make sure that that is there. What I then want to do is go to my copies, which is this little tab here, copies. And you'll see mine status is set to in processing. So to change these things, I then go to my pencil. I change this to available. I then change my pricing to $10. I then go into my copy categories. This is going to be up to your librarian or whoever's in charge of the catalog within your site. I always choose as my copy categories. Most of these are the diversity and they are the genres or sublocations, whichever way you want to look at that. But you can see I have a variety. It just kind of depends where I am. But right now I'm just going to choose manga because that is what this book is. And I'm going to hit OK. And then over here in sublocation, I'm going to choose manga. And you'll notice that these two things are already correct from when they were in here before. And then I'm going to go ahead and click here. You can now see it's that I have sublocation. It says that it's available. And you can see now that local copies say 1 of 1. So everything that we have here is now a complete and correct record. I would then go back to my search results. I can do the same thing with the volume 5 because you'll notice here it says it's 0 out of 1. I can click on there, choose available, choose $10, and again choosing manga, choosing OK, and then changing your sublocation as well, and then choose save copy. If you know that you don't have anything to change, like if you know you have everything correct on your title record in your search results, you can click over here and it'll take you straight to your copy instead of going into the title record and then choosing copies. So that's just another little shortcut in case you already know what is happening. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is you can see that we have different call numbers and different call letters. That's going to be because if you notice, the author is actually Sue Morishita, and that means that the last name is M-O-R. So that's something that we'll need to go in and fix within our copy records. That's an easy thing to do. You can go into your copy record, go ahead and click on here, and then just change that to M-O-R. It happens quite a bit recently when it comes to our manga and our graphic novels. That's something you're going to want to be aware of, is check to see what's going on within that record, because here, like I said, this is your actual record. You can also do some investigation, make sure that this is the actual author and it's not the illustrator, because that's been happening a lot as well. The easy way to do that sometimes is just see who owns the copyright within that particular book or title. You can also just do a Google search, and that should help you a little bit. But in that title page, on the Calphalon page, you should be able to find who owns the copyright and maybe who is your illustrator as well. So at least that way you get an idea of who is in charge. So that's just one way. That's an easy one to do because I just had to merge the records. Most of the records had already been correct. All I then had to do was update my copy. Next I'm going to show you is a book that I know nobody else has but me. So I'm going to type in here. I'm going to show you two different ways to work this. You'll see that the book is called Kingdom. And so I'm going to hit title. You will see that there are 157 books here. And so you can kind of get an idea, like, I don't really want to search through all of these. My books are right here, so luckily they were at the top. But what you can do instead is go to your library search and type in Kingdom and Hera. If you know what the last name, something simple that you can click in, and then you're going to get your books that are simple as that part. So I have here two books, one's Kingdom 2. Neither one of them have been processed. And so I now have to fix what I'm looking for here. So I'm going to go into Kingdom 1 first. I'm going to show you some of the simple things that we do that tell me, hey, this book is set in China. So it also tells me that this is going to be an Asian title. So I'm going to want to make sure to put that. But you'll notice I do not have anywhere in my site subjects that say that it is a manga. So I'm going to go here to Site Subjects and Add Subject, and then I'm just going to type in manga. Now, this is totally up to you as the librarian or to you as the para, whether your librarian wants you to. I add in site subjects because when students search in the OPAC and all they want to search is like manga or they want to search mystery, what they're going to be searching is what's here. Okay, the site subjects. They're not searching copy categories. They're not searching sublocations. They are searching site subjects. So that is up to you and your librarian as to how you want to work with that. The other part that we then have to go through when it comes to the book itself is now edit title. I need to edit this title record so that it is correct. So I'm going to edit title, and I'm going to go to Kingdom, comma, VOL, period 1, because I know it's volume 1. I can see here that Hara did the story and the art, so I'm just going to delete that part because I don't need it. All you need is the person's name, and I'm going to leave the translation here because obviously it was not the original title and original text, so I'm just going to leave that there. And then I'm going to go next to series and notes, and I'm going to type in Kingdom and volume 1 so that again I know that this is the series name, this is the volume title. Most of the time in manga world that's going to be the case. If you don't know for sure, you can sometimes go over here in your Goodreads and you can type in Kingdom and I'll see if anything's going to pop in. This is a newer graphic novel. So you can see Kingdom 1 is popping in, but it may or may not be yeah, you see it may or may not be in English. So it's not going to help you, but you can at least see that the series title and the name of the book are the same. So that does help you at least a little bit. If you need to look or do some investigation, you can also Google it. It'll come in. So I have this part done, and I'm going to save this. Just kind of show you what's happening here. It's going to ask me, hey, do you want to accept all of these changes? I always select all and then save the title. It's usually just correcting punctuation anyway. The next thing you'll see is I have this number 1 here that tells me that I forgot to get rid of this number 1. I can't have this here. So in order to get rid of that number 1, I have to go here to edit title. And then I go where it says use mark editor. And then I'm going to scroll down here to line 245. And you just click on here. It's going to open these boxes. All you then have to do is delete. delete the number. And now, over here at the bottom for us down here, save. At the bottom, yep, select all again, save. Now when you go back to your title record, it looks the way it's supposed to look for our district catalog specs. So that's all you have to do here when it's brand new and you have to add everything. And then we go again into the copies. And I go to here, I choose available. I change my title again to 10. I then can come over here. And like I said, it occurs in China. So I want to make sure that it's reflected in my diversity, which is Asian, Hawaiian Islander, and fiction. You may or may not have that. I just do for my catalog. And then down here for manga. And we're good. There it is. Okay, at the top. And then I change this to manga as well. Save copy. And now you can see everything's correct here. Everything is correct here. You see that we are the only ones who have it, but you can at least make sure that everything is there. And now when you go to the search results, you can see that volume 1 is correct and Kingdom 2 still needs to be processed. And so you have those two things. That gives you an idea of then how would I catalog a manga. Graphic novels are the same way, in making sure that I have that correct based on our cataloging specs. The last one I'm going to show you is just a book. This is called A Matter of Murder. I'm going to choose title. A Matter of Murder, you'll see that it has everything here, but it says a Lizzie and Darcy mystery as your series. That is not correct, so we know we have to fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the title record, and I can see that almost everything else looks pretty good. I'm going to scroll down, see, oh, mystery is already here in the site subjects, so I don't need to add that. I can then also go into my edit title, and I'm going to the series, and I am going to change, and it's then, this is when I have to go in actually and check, because this is book 2, so I want to check on what the original one, what did I title the original one? So I'm going to type in the author's name first, because that way it might give me what I'm looking for. There you go. So Lizzie and Darcy Mystery 1. So I did have that there. So basically all I have to get rid of is the Lizzie and Darcy Mystery. And so I will come back over here. You can see Matter of Murder is right there. And then go to edit title. That's just a matter of making sure you title things the same within each series. So I'm just going to take off the and then I'm going to put in number 2. And then that way it pops in as save title and then save title. When I have my search records, I can then see Lizzie and Darcy Mystery 1, Lizzie and Darcy Mystery 2. So that way I know that they're both the same. When I'm going in to edit my copy, it's the same thing as if you were editing from the manga. I just choose available. I change this to 10. I come in here. I know it's a mystery. And that's the only thing that I will check because it's based in London and everybody's white. So I just hit OK. And then I go here and I find mystery. I choose that, and then I save the copy. I can now go through. I see that everything is on here that I need in order to process this book, and gives you an idea, hopefully, of cataloging and how that kind of works. If I were looking for this series, if I didn't know what this was and I wanted to know what the series was, you can always look it up in here. A Matter of Murder. I can look it up here. You can see, hey, this is called the Lizzie and Darcy Mystery. You can click on this gray spot here, and it will tell you what's in the series. And then it will tell you what the title is as well. The other thing that you can look, if I didn't already know that A Matter of Murder was a mystery, I didn't know that, you can go into your tidal wave and you can type in A Matter of Murder. And inside A Matter of Murder, I can then click on that. What I would then usually see is here, hey, it's European region, so that's the diversity. It tells me it's a mystery, so I have my focus there. So those are tags that I can see and use right from the start. I like to then also go all the way down to the reviews, because a lot of times if you come here with Kirkus especially, it'll tell you this is mystery and the age range. It may also then tell you some of these, like most main characters read white. You might have a biracial best friend. So things like that, it'll tell you kind of what you're really looking for and what you might find as you are there. You can also look in School Library Journal. They tend to do the same interesting things. So it gives you that idea of what kind of genre it might be based on that as well. So Tidal Wave and Goodreads are good places to go if you really need to know the information within your book and you just want to make sure you find out which ones are there first. I hope this has been helpful. If you have questions, please feel free to give me a call or email me. I'm more than happy to help you guys out as much as I can. Thank you.